Welcome to the very first episode of the Footwear Retailer Podcast. Whether you're listening from your store, maybe on your commute, or during a rare quiet moment, I am absolutely thrilled you're here. Because running a shoe store isn't easy, but you don't have to do it alone. This podcast is here to help you simplify the chaos, grow with clarity, and most importantly, it's about enjoying the journey as a footwear retailer. Let's face it, running a shoe store can feel pretty overwhelming at given times. There's inventory headaches, there's team management struggles, there's customer demands, and the constant pressure, of course, to stay profitable. On top of all that, it's easy to feel like you're glued to your business with no time for yourself or your family. But here's the truth. You own your business and it shouldn't own you. And that's a premise of the podcast. It's all about giving you the tools and the strategies and the insights to take back control. Not only control of your business, but control of your life. Every episode will bring you some practical advice, some relatable stories, clear, actionable steps, make the business work for you. Throughout this podcast, we're going to follow a proven framework that I call the business value blueprint. It's really built on three key pillars. And the first one is called the foundation pillar. Every good thing is built with a strong foundation, right? Building strong operational systems and leadership skills. And I've got two sort of frameworks that we'll dig into along the way. One is called the 6Ps. And just to lay them out briefly, it's your promise, your product, your process, your people, promotion, and your profit. And communicating effectively, which is the leadership part of it, all around better communication, management, and accountability. So those are the key pillars that we are going to talk about in that first foundational one. Then we're also going to talk about growth, right? It's hard to carry on if you're not growing. So we'll talk about scaling operations without breaking your systems. We'll talk about innovating to improve customer experiences. We'll talk about tracking key performance indicators. And then we'll get into legacy, because it's one thing to grow revenue. It's another thing to grow your legacy and the profit and the value of your business, right? So we'll talk about planning for succession. We'll talk about preserving wealth and knowledge and building long-lasting brand legacy. Every episode will touch on one or more of these pillars along the way, whether it's me doing a solo episode or with our guests. But we'll be talking about inventory management, leadership, team building, or maybe growing your customer base. So if you're an independent footwear retailer, whether you specialized in run store, running shoes, leisure footwear, maybe family footwear, this podcast is for you. And if you're part of a family business, navigating succession or stepping into a leadership role as the next generation, you're in the right place. No matter where you're at in your footwear journey, whether you're a seasoned store owner or just starting out, this podcast is designed to support your journey. So what can you expect in future episodes of the Footwear Retailer Podcast? Well, first of all, some solo episodes focused on insights and frameworks and actionable strategies. And then we're going to do guest interviews, conversations with industry experts, successful retailers, and next generation leaders, wholesalers, anybody that's around the business, the footwear business, that can help you move the ball, right? We'll talk with real stories, honest discussions about challenges and wins and losses too, and the lessons learned along the way. Always, my goal is to have some practical takeaways for every episode that will leave you with something you can act upon immediately. It's not just about theory, it's about real actionable advice that you can use to improve your business and your life today. Speaking of actionable steps, here's something I'd love you to do this week is take 10 minutes to write down one thing you're doing right now that someone else on your team could handle. Think about how you can either delegate it or at least get started in documenting the process so someone else can take it over down the road. It's small steps like this that add up, and every task you remove from your plate creates more space for you to focus on the big picture strategy of your business. If you found today's episode valuable, hit that subscribe button if you want to hear a little bit more. Don't miss out on future episodes. It's going to be all around you, the footwear retailer. You can follow us on Instagram at the Footwear Retailer for updates, tips, and behind the scenes content, or you can head on over to thefootwearretailer.com. And if you have a specific challenge or story that you'd like to hear or share on the podcast, or maybe you'd like to be a guest on the podcast, let's chat. You can DM me on Instagram or simply book a chat with me at speaktopete.com. That's speaktopete.com. Drop me a line there and we will hop on a chat at speaktopete.com, where you can book in an appointment with me and we'll have a chat all about it. Thanks for joining me on this very first episode of the Footwear Retailer Podcast. I'm so excited to be on this journey with you. Remember, you own your business and it shouldn't own you. Now go and make it a great day.